This is day 863 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. So Arukh HaShulchan is Yomi is sponsored for a Chag Kosher B'Sameach for Paiso and for Schus for Shidduchim, which Hashem should be B'Atzlocha. Today we're doing siman Tov Kuf Nun Dalet. Sifreim Yud Gimel to Chaf Aleph. Yud Gimel. Yisa B'Yoma. He had a handkerchief. One Chacham had a handkerchief. But sure also mine Erev Tishba. It's dunked in the water in Erev Tishba. Next he would pass it over his eyes. And wipe it in his face, his hands, and his feet. Something concerning Kippur. Ramazah Yom Kippur. Maybe Zeh Pegum Shis Asar. Rama does bring this down by Yom Kippur. And Tisha B'Av. Loi Bizeh doesn't bring this down. Avatur b'sim tov shigimel b'chas yom kippurim hey bizeh v'kan gakin hey bizeh. Torah brings it both places. We hear that's Rambam sh'nudav azem yashev libo shel adam. Rambam holds that this makes a person more calm. V'cheinu yom kippurim sheyom kadosh. V'tzilatzus v'daitan definitely Yom Kippur, which is a day which is holy and requires a clear thought. It's appropriate to do this. Av Tishba, it's very b'chedesh or Arukh HaShulchan must say, kol ma shedaitan rebellas tov yosef. The more discombobulated it is, the better it is. Came Shil Meditzaris is the day of anguish. More Mishas King of Tishbav. That which more we find that somebody did this on Tishbav. Shisha Isnis Gadol was very sensitive. Velo Echol Echios Beloze. You're going to live without this. Velo Bestamini Adam. It's not regular people. Came Ashal Tursham. So the Yashev Hadas. Ayin Shem is in order to restore people's equanimity. Not equanimity. Equilibrium. Ayin Shem. The Torah holds the they are sensitive people who need this kind of procedure. Can you a Ramah? Let's see if you doubt. Ramah brings also as well. Even this procedure requires you taking it out of the water at night until so in the morning it is almost dry, just slightly moist. Because if you look at this scenario, even for pleasure it's permitted. It's astonishing. For the purpose of pleasure. So it's lifetime of mamashu. You have to say that it's not literally for pleasure, but to remove his discombobulation. It's not clear about this. Yudal, Mishabur writes, scratch that. First is Mishabur. Mishabur says that it has to be not moist enough that it can spread moisture to the thing it touches. Otherwise, it's awesome. Anointing with oil, zos and tishba, beim sikas arosh, beim sikas agufa is anointing the head or the body. Cause of sikas shaltani, that's anointing of pleasure. Amishish shaltani, somebody who has an itch in his head, or tzaras, or gufo, some sort of boils on his skin. The tzarech l'such, and he has to anoint. Sakidarko, he can anoint the normal way. The enoch doesn't be concerned. Sometimes is not doing it for the purpose of pleasure. You're also allowed to come out your hair with a comb. Is not for the purpose of pleasure, but rather you shouldn't have to scratch. I've also to say we can't rinse the hair. I feel my mind with a little bit of water. You should comb it dry in tzarich if it's necessary and required by you. Mishabur and the Be'er Halacha write that a kala, after she gets married all 30 days, she's allowed to anoint herself in order she not become disgusting to her husband. Also, it's partial that you're allowed to remove, whether a kala or not, any zuam or anything which is polluting or smells bad from your body. Tesvav, neither sandal or wearing shoes. Also, daf b'shor, it's also specifically of leather. But if they're made out of fabric, out of wood, or sham or cork, then klipe eights, which are shells of wood, or gemi, or of rubber, mutter. Shel eights, actually gemi is a kind of reed. Shel eights or gemi, or sham or chuppah, or also, if any of these things, if they're made of wood or these reeds or the cork, but they're covered with leather, it's also. Or also socks, which are partially made of leather, are also. But it's Shem Shel Ezim Mishin Yerko or Ve'ena Meor, Elam Ezim Devek Shloim Rosli. There should mean Devek. But has to go in galoshes, which are made out of something which looks like a leather, but it's not really leather. It's some sort of rosin, and it looks like some sort of glue. I was afraid that the glue is made out of some sort of cooked animal hide. But I didn't call it, maybe it has a loch of animal hide. But even still, even once they're cooked, they're boiled, they lose their previous name. It's like bread when it's boiled. And these batlam mitan turns lechem and loses its status of bread. Here it's the same thing. So even though cooking leather, on the contrary, toughens it to the mashal Shabbos, that's when you just cook it. But when you make this glue, you cook it and you dissolve it. Someone loses his previous name. It's kind of similar to the issue of gelatin. But I feel even parchment, which is absolutely a hide, but they tanned it, and they scratched it. No longer has the same halachas as a hide. In other words, you could wear parchment shoes on Yom Kippur, and Tisha B'av. Kosher Gagam is certainly in these galoshes. Oops, I was wrong. So look at the next line. Oh well, sorry about that. I'll be tuned out from between the last line and this line, because he says that shoes made of parchment are also because they are leather. So I'm not sure exactly what his argument is from the klaf, if he says afterwards the klaf is leather. Okay, I don't know. Tez 9. Assuming the sound of people putting people on velos or putting cherem, and now as shoes come up petition about. And they're walking on the road. Normally they can put on shoes. Now it's hard to walk on the road barefoot. Shmuel says it's best if you put some dirt inside your shoes. And when you are sitting on a wagon or riding, you have to take off your shoes, even if you're going on a long trip, because you're sitting. There's no excuse. When you reach the city, they should take off their shoes. But that's why if you're going on a road. But if you're going to a field right next to the city or to a cemetery, you're not allowed to put on shoes. A place where you live with nations of the world who are not going to understand this barefoot stuff. Don't take off your shoes on the Jewish street. Mishnah say that if you're going to a nearby field, it's mutter to put on shoes if there's all sorts of mud and pitch, or you're going to have to walk among the nodges to get there. The Rabbah says anytime in the city, even not going to a long trip, you're also allowed to put on shoes. That's a custom. They had a special Jewish street, it's known as a ghetto. Now live together then. There's a lot of them, and big cities. Be lenient. And it says that the Rabbah was machmir in terms of the Jewish street, even if they're not Jews living there, because there are many people who were not happy being made even among non-Jews, only the Jewish street, when they're non-Jews living there. That doesn't necessarily contradict the Arukh HaShulchan. Arukh HaShulchan said a place where there was, it doesn't see a place where there's a designated Jewish street. Many people are lenient today for this reason. Shmuel says that nevertheless, if you are lenient, meaning when you come home, you have to move your shoes. Chaim says that even if you can't protest those people are lenient, because some people are matir, great people are matir. There's no reason to be matir. So what? The non-Jews will scoff at you. Okay? They scoff at us anyway. Nevertheless, those who are in a store are definitely usher. Sitting in a store. Because I guess it's going to be on the counter. How non-Jews know they don't have shoes on. Interesting. Arukh says again, many people lean on this account. It's only big cities, little towns, not small towns. Obviously, if the rain is coming down, you're allowed to put on a shoe. We're more machmir. It's only mutter for a sensitive person. When she's probably seeing tough for issue daled, we shall see. Kol Tisha B'Av Rabbanan mutter, kol Tisha B'Av. It's only the Rabbanan, it's mutter. Yutzah yesh mishomer shlo yisham b'leil Tisha B'Av im ishto b'mita achas. So they say you should not sleep on Tisha B'Av night with your wife in the same bed. Nachon hadavar makes sense. It's appropriate. Shem leich lecha min nazir. We tell nazir don't go close to the vineyard. Nachon shlo yigaba b'layla abo b'yom enachush. It's proper not to touch her at night and do archokos like a nida. But during the day, you're not concerned that they're actually going to come to relations as a result. The Shalatim writes that the reason we're not concerned during the day is because people go around in disgusting clothes on Tisha B'Av. If they go around in nice clothes, it should be macher even during the day. Taz is making even at night. Perhaps you didn't see the Darkei Moshe Asers. Anyway, back to Arukh HaShulchan. Ole Yomin. Also at night, you don't need to be concerned for people who are young. Okay? Who were never careful about this in the past. So, which was an achoshet to have relation to Tisha B'Av. Interesting. Shabbos Chabot Tisha B'Av, Nidcha Shabbos Tisha B'Av, when Tisha B'Av was the Sunday, Moshe Mutter B'Achil Shasiya, K'mochem Mutter B'Tash Mishamita. So we would say that you have relations that day. V'yesh Osin Tash Mishamita, however, there are those who forbid relations on Shabbos Chazon when it is Tisha B'Av. B'chein that's the minhag. Shamash Machriz, Lachat feels the Arabis for him. Shebetzina Noy. Wow, never seen that. Shamash announced in shul after davening that practices in secret, in private, are in effect on this Shabbos. Okay. Shalatzim writes a place where they don't have a custom to make such announcement. They don't have to make such announcement. There are those who are dubious about the entire announcement. He says here, especially nowadays when we have lots of scoffers who make a joke out of it. Very true. The Mishnah Berurah says if virgins seen are knowing on this Shabbos, accordingly you're also not allowed to wash your hands with hot water because that's all also called virgin Sina. But says Friday night was, even though it's Tisha B'Av, but it's Friday night, it was the way it goes to the mikvah. You have to go. They have to have relations. They can't ikar dina. That is the strict letter of the law. The Mishnah Berurah and not so stringent, so to speak. They write that there are different opinions about this, and you can be lenient on Leil Tefillah and have relations, and so you have to. So it's be lenient and you can. And he says also somebody who just came home from a long trip. And he says, every person is different. Also the wives have to be different, obviously. Religion says, the thing says, people do have relations in the night of Tefillah. Benjamin Tichas and Sarim Mincha b'Shabbos Chabot Tishbav, Tishbav b'Yom Rishon. You know, the Tichas for whether Tishbav is a Shabbos on Sunday. The Avarachim Yeshom Yesh Enumim Yasuk Min Hagam. The Avarachim are those who say and those who don't say, and everybody should do like their minhag. So it says that Tishbav comes out on Shabbos. You do say Avarachim. Okay. Yudches Sheila Shalom. Also, Tishbav you're not allowed to greet people. Tishbav. The Yom Shalom called Ba'ava. It's not a day of peace, like similar to the case of Abayos. Of course, I've seen there, Siman Shimpei. V'sham Yeshim L'Shel Shalom Shalom, Lo Mikra Shel Shalom. Those who say that there are greetings and not considered to be the greetings, which are also Have V'sham V'shevi Atusha Mash Le'edji Damir Shalom Aleichem Have Shel Shalom. We say Shalom Aleichem. The V'sham actually identifies that as Shel Shalom. V'chein Ein L'Akel Dever can't be lenient. Shmuel says Lama Oretz. It's good to tell him that it's also to give Shalom today. You know, you shouldn't hate you if you don't return shalom, give him shalom. By the other shame, shalom, but the Arukh HaShulchan seems to disagree with that because he says common people who don't know the din, they do give you the shalom aleichem. You respond to them softly and with gravity. Not to respond all is not appropriate in order not to embarrass him. Also shouldn't go and take walks, pleasure walks on Tisha B'Av in the marketplace and on the street. That's what also Tisha B'Av, taking walks on Tisha B'Av is also, it's just for the purpose of, not for getting somewhere. Besides, it's very likely to come to laughter and frivolity, people and and the scoffing of the current sonos and mockery. The Tisha B'Av Kshenim Uchrach, let's say Tisha B'Av, you don't have to go out. Yeshev Pinay Pinas Beis So Batzvus, sit in the corner of your house in sadness. If you're compelled to go somewhere, this way you have to go somewhere. You go with a lowered head. Be my last us, should do quickly. We have to do. Yosha Beis might go quickly home again. You should not go to the cemeteries on Tisha B'Av, because people go in groups. It's not appropriate because then people come to make a rosh. And God-fearing people refrain from it. Good morning. Say, good morning is also inappropriate, and not just shalom aleichem. Your test. I'm a psachim. In place where the customers do work on Tisha B'Av, you do. In place where the customers not to work, you don't. Or that you should not get distracted from the avelus. Also, according to this, also at night it's also. Rashi says differently. Which doesn't take involvement, doesn't take time. It's mutzar. Every somebody should not go to work. Should not do work in place of the customer. It's to go to work. That's one time but he wants to assert the status for himself for this purpose. It can't. I mean, the Mexican it looks like arrogance. So the person who sees it will say, oh, he doesn't have work to do. Not that he's look at this person who pretends to be a Talmid Chacham. The place we don't do work, you do it through a non-Jew. Some say that specifically you gave him the work before Tisha B'Av. It's not clear about that. It's still not something which is well known. Like construction, some of the things which are highly public. Shartzian says that Arukh HaShulchan says even commercial activity and buying and selling is also through non-Jewish because it is before some. Okay, but that's not what Arukh HaShulchan says. Arukh HaShulchan says the next line. Oh yes, he does say it, but he doesn't see how it doesn't mean now the point about non-Jews. He says the pragmatia. He says that buying and selling in order to make money is like malacha. It's a place for the customer not to do it. You don't involve yourself in buying and selling and sitting in stores. Place where the customer is to do so, you can do so. Diminish matter of engagement. Even when Av begins, it's supposed to diminish the matter of matter. Even though we know that it's only a masa matter which involves simcha, we certainly diminish all sorts of commercial activity which distracts, of course, from the avelus. In our countries, not in the chatzos. So says the truth is nowadays it's become even more limited only till after kinus is over. It would be appropriate to draw out kinos till chatzos. When he came, they don't but because people are pressed for a living, you can't force them to do so. I came shlogu kain and yisab davar. But this is once there has been the custom. There's no prohibition. Came Tisha B'Av totally b'minhag if you didn't have Mishnah. According to Tisha B'Av, according to Mishnah, it depends on your minhag. That's the minhag. Come because never say rain. God-fearing people. These own shlosos come chatzos. They're careful not to malacha for chatzos even after kids. The kain shloch tachanus come chatzos. Also not to open the door for chatzos. Close the malacha meruba. This time about anything which has a lot of work. Shikshuk which involves has a certain degree of involvement. I feel about saying that even if it's not a craft, it's just an involvement and it requires no particular skills. I've never seen with something which doesn't have any particular engagement, doesn't take any amount of time, such as the lighting candles, the kshira, and tying things. It's not a problem. I feel good chatzos and before chatzos. You also don't make the beds before chatzos. You don't sweep the house on Tisha B'Av. I thought you do sweep the house towards the end of the day. Sign of expect Mashiach coming imminently. But I don't see that he says that here. Maybe somewhere else. I don't know. So I seem to recall. L'achlo paras paras and who eat the milk of the cows, especially when not a Jew. If it's not possible, achlo batzmo, you should milk yourself. Like Mishabur said, it's mutter if it's a dove, even if it's not davra aved. If you wait the chatzos, you can still do it before it. Davra aved from the growth of mashal being made always by a Jew himself, even if it's possible by a non-Jew. Okay, but the Arukh HaShulchan goes on, shouldn't stop meal. Since here, it's like saying which is the laws involved. Like it's davra aved mutter, we're going to suffer love. It's mutter. Laws it's mutter kadesh yom chomay just like chomay. The gam bavelis mutter davra aved. In bavelis you're allowed to do davra aved. Times like shechal yom shul b'tishvav. Therefore, the market day comes out to tishvav. On a matim loafim lafos lechem abok. We allow the bakers to bake bread in the morning. So you should to be prepared for the market day, presumably for the non-Jews. Times that because it's like a loss. Can't be a read and so to in the fair or shares and where the caravan's coming. But mutar liknos me'am afil mokoshen sim lo koshkin l'mchor. You're allowed to buy them, even in places where people don't do malacha, and you're certainly allowed to sell them. The more you can do it in private, the better off you are. It would be a right that specifically through non-Jews with him, but not he himself, because you get distracted from avails. Even though it's a good losses involved, it's considered to be AhSY, and you can't be maker for the masses. So he's much, much more machmir than Arukh HaShulchan with affairs. We're supposed, this is Chavav, and today's Arukh HaShulchan is supposed to go into Chavav, but since Chavbeis is the end of the siman, let's do Chavbeis. Arukh Chazal Shuli Tainis. Chazal say at the end of times, Kosam Lach of Tishbav, anybody does work on Tishbav, anyone has seen Brachal Olam. He doesn't see a sign of blessing forever. Masha Afiyu Makom Shalom, so it sounds like that's even where the custom was to do work on Tishbav. Mishabur says it's only when you put yourself fully engaged in the work and you get distracted from the Avelos. The name says so a person refrain from work on Tisha B'Av as much as he can. Somebody who's work on Tisha B'Av does not more Yerushalayim Shemar Simchas Yerushalayim B'Kilu B'Kama There. Be happy in Yerushalayim and rejoice in all those who love it. Be happy all those who mourn it. So he doesn't mourn Yerushalayim. Since he has happiness here. Anybody eats and drinks in Tisha B'Av, Allah Ne'amar, since the Prophet says, they put their averos on their bones. In the bones of a dead person, it's clear if you drank wine or water. So to anybody who eats meat or drinks wine, it's we've done for us. Also, he is marked. Anybody mourns Yerushalayim, Yizkeh, he will merit and see. Yitzmach and rejoice and bin Yerushalayim, construction Yerushalayim, basic mikdash, b'mheira, b'ameinu, b'amein. And he says, "Bein yichtov kedusha Torah Tisha B'Av." Don't write kedusha Torah Tisha B'Av. It says in terms of writing, for the rabbi, and then kedusha Knesset says, is mekel. Not Yehuda owes it's like cholamoid, which also means when you're going to lose the kedusha Torah, you're allowed to write. So much more lenient than the Arukh HaShulchan on writing down kedusha Torah.